Hello and welcome back to Up Download. I am so excited to be here, and funnily enough, I can't actually hear the intro music on my end, but while loading it into OBS today, I was so excited to hear the intro music again, because it's been a really long time since we've been here and gotten to chat, and boy, do we have a lot to chat about. Are we
It's true.
doing some fun new things? Um, I haven't gotten to check the audio mix a whole lot. I did some recording earlier, so please let me know in the chat if anything goes wrong with the audio, and I will be trying to get on that and fixing it as soon as possible. So, Jacob, Jacob,
Yeah, that's me.
we,
Hello.
I guess I should, yeah, introduce us first. Hello, my name is Sterling. I am one of the founders and hosts of the original Up Download podcast, and I'm joined here with Jacob, aka the
The other
He
one.
Man, uh,
That's
the other founder and host from the original Up Download. And when I say original
true.
Up Download, that's very intentional because, boy, are we in for a huge change with
It's
what we've
true.
got going on here. So, um, I don't know where to start. You know?
Well, let's just simply start. Let's start from kind of the beginning of the story, I know, you started shooting the shit and talking with people about kind of this idea um about kind of expanding things, right?
Yes, I did. You were very loud, so I just turned you down. I just
Thank you for
realized.
doing that.
So yeah, basically, our last episode was I think the last thing we did was the Game Awards in December 2021. We
Yeah,
did a
definitely.
stream for the Game Awards. We I think it's unlisted on YouTube because
Mm,
there was a lot of copyrighted content that we couldn't get past the thing.
that's
Thanks,
true.
Jeff Keighley. Um, and then radio silence, while just life happened for a while.
It's true.
You wrap around to December of last year, and I start talking to one of the other members of the group. We've got a 9 or 10 person team right now, to do a
We
whole lot of
do.
different things that we will dive into soon. But one of the members, Sam, had reached out to me and was like, "Hey, I've been wanting to do a collaboration focused like gaming thing, similar to your IGN, Rooster Teeth, Polygon. Kind of Funny is a huge role model for me personally. Like that kind of stuff. Um, and I was like, I've kind of been wanting to do the same thing. I still own the website for Up Download, and so, uh, and I really like the branding. I think it's a fun name.
I think it's a
So
great name.
we dove into like, hey, okay, here's all the things that people want to do. Let's start bringing on people that we know, that we like, from the that we have like worked with before, and just kind of build a partnership that allows people to do what they want, with
Yeah,
different mediums through different games. And so what that involves is we are turning Up Download from just a podcast about just talking about games randomly to kind of a weekly news recap event that's also a bit of a
hmm
podcast. We're still,
it's
it's still gonna be
it
ridiculous.
is.
It's gonna be jank. It's good. We're gonna BS quite a lot, but we'll
Oh
talk
yeah,
about some news here and there. And then we're going to host a lot of special Twitch events, things like game shows or uh, uh, I I don't want to call them improv events, but I do like the thought of doing some like fun like game related improv kind of thing,
absolutely.
like the old machinimas, but like how it's like
Oh,
done with characters in games, but like I don't know. We'll get
absolutely,
into that later. That's gonna be a whole other thing.
absolutely.
We launched a website for writing, and so we have editorials, opinions. There's going to be some reviews that go up. We're not journalists, and so it's not like a
No,
news website, but it is going to be just a place for us to hang out and chat. Um,
and throw some thoughts on the wall. Yeah,
yeah, exactly. So what am I missing? I feel like there's other big stuff.
I mean, I think you hit most of the marks, but I think the really cool thing that we just really are excited about is having so many other people in the room. We've kind of accumulated a pretty fun crew. And you know, we've been approaching it from like a standpoint that, you know, this is something that, hey, if you know, we all want to do something creative, something interesting, something to get ourselves just going. And I think it's just been a blast, kind of reintroducing the brand. Sorry, this is my new cat. He's very cute, very needy. Anyway, it's just been really nice reintroducing the brand and revitalizing everything to just back out there. Like you said, it's a I think
Oh,
I
you're getting quiet.
if I'm quiet again.
Yeah, you got quiet for a second.
Uh,
There, you're back. You're good now. You're fine.
okay, good. But yeah, I agree with you what you said. You know, this is it's a fun brand name. It's a fun. It's a. I had a blast when we did it the first time around, and I'm happy to go and keep doing it. You know.
Yeah, exactly. Uh, yeah, there's a lot that's gonna be here for you to look forward to. We're not going to introduce the team right now.
Yeah.
We are going to have a a kind of like a game show type event to introduce the team and do some fun trivia and stuff. And yeah, it's
Yeah.
going to be a blast. So we're very excited to bring you along with us for the ride of what Up Download is going to be. And yeah, just generally super excited. So I thought we would pop into the news for the week. There's not a lot, and at the same time there is a lot. So there's only a
Yeah.
couple things that's really happened for us to really chat about. First, I thought we'd take the easy slow ball of the Xbox Developer Direct 2024, where
Yes.
we've got some game announcements, some really cool stuff. Did you get a chance to watch this or
No,
anything?
I really haven't. You know,
Okay.
I've seen a few things here and there, but you know, I did not get a chance to watch it.
Yeah, so I was watching it, and it's a really incredible event that they do, where they get to really show the behind the scenes and show off like what the developers want to talk about and show the people making the game instead of being like an
Yeah.
E3 type event, or I guess a Summer Games Fest type of event, where
Yes.
it's this like
The now
spectacle.
defunct E3.
Yeah. Instead of being a spectacle, you get to really focus on the developers, which is really incredible.
Yeah.
So it's supposed to be 4 games, and then they talked about a fifth. This is where Hi-Fi Rush last year got announced.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
and so last year they did the same thing, where it was like, hey, here's a few games to talk, but there was like a classified thing at the bottom that nobody knew, and then they talked about Hi-Fi Rush, and then they're like, oh, by the way, it's out tonight. They didn't do
Yeah.
that again. What they did instead was they said, "Hey, we're talking about 4 games," and then they surprise talked about a fifth one with no shadow
Hmm.
dropping of anything. Um,
Yeah.
so we got. So there was one game called Aura History Untold from Oxide Games. Um, it's a very like Civilization looking game. It's
Yeah.
that kind of simulation. Now my cat's acting up.
Well, you know.
Cats are going to do what the cats are going to do. So it's
Yeah,
a
they are.
Civilization looking game that looks incredible, and it does have a lot of Firax's developers working on it, and it
Yeah.
looks like it should be pretty cool. I was pretty blown away by the trailer. I'm very excited to check that out. It's going to be coming this fall to PC and PC Game Pass. Uh,
Yeah.
I I don't remember if they talked about Xbox, but it was the Microsoft event, so I think there should
You
be.
can kind of
But it's coming to
maybe
PC.
assume.
It's coming to PC Game Pass, and so
Mhm.
if anything, that's why they talked about it.
The cool thing that I saw about that particular game was the procedural generation of Earth,
I didn't know
which
that.
is just like, yeah,
I
that's
was
gonna
just
they're gonna
excited
have
for
a
the Civilization part. I didn't hear about the tech at all. That's cool.
but yeah, they're procedurally generating the planet, which is like, I don't know, maybe that's been done before. I'm not sure, but I mean, still cool.
Yeah, it's been done. I don't know if it's been done with planet Earth, like with an accurate
Yeah,
history and all, but like stuff
yeah,
like it's been done plenty. Yeah.
yeah.
We also got an update on Visions of Mana coming from Square Enix,
Mm-hmm.
which I think somebody drafted in our fantasy critic. Let me check.
I think you're right.
I want to say it was Billy who got it.
Yeah.
No.
By the way, our this is kind of just a for fun thing, but also,
Ian.
I
Nolan.
mean, if you
Nolan
guys
got
want to
it.
follow along at home, we have our new friends here on the channel, the crew. We've done a fantasy draft, where we've kind of uh, drafted a few games, and we're gonna
So
kind of
yeah,
see
we've
how.
drafted games that are going to come out this year, and it's like for every point
Yeah,
above 70 on Open Critic that it gets, then we get scored for that. And it's going to be a lot of
thank
fun.
you.
Yeah. And there is, if you go to our Twitter account at Up Download, there is um, a post with a link if you want to go check that. Check out who drafted what and see what's going to happen. It's going to be fun. Um, by the way, saying at Up Download just reminded me, side tangent, YouTube infuriating. So I have made YouTube videos on and off for a good chunk of my life since middle school or something. I don't remember when I started. Um and it was I think there was a period of time where you couldn't have like a personalized YouTube link. I don't remember having like a youtube.com/channel name thing ever. And then eventually it got to the point where, okay, if you have so many subscribers, I think it was like if you hit 100 subscribers, you can make youtube.com/up download. And that's great. Something they've done recently, and this is a new YouTube channel for us. We didn't have a YouTube channel for Up Download before. I was just uploading it to my personal account.
Yeah.
Um, they've done away with that. If you had a personal link before, you get to keep it. But now when you make a channel, it just gives you your handle as the personal link. And there's no more creating new links that you want. And so what that does is it creates a link that's youtube.com/@up download.
Oh my gosh.
And slash
That's so
at is
silly.
so stupid because like it's great to just be like, yeah, go to youtube.com/up download, because you could do that with
But
Twitch.
no.
Hey, yeah, check out the podcast. Go to twitch.tv/up download, twitter.com/up download, youtube.com/@up download.
Slash at up
It's so
down.
frustrating. It's so incredibly frustrating.
So
Um,
check us out on YouTube slash up download.
yeah, okay. Uh, anyway, Nolan got Visions of Mana. So
Ah.
that is Square Enix's next title, or one of their next titles. They're so much more publisher than developer these days, it seems. So
Yeah.
it's very Square Enix type game. It's an RPG with this time they're doing real time action instead of like a turn based action, which is
Mm-hmm.
great to see. I'm sure other Square Enix titles have done this, but
Yeah.
it's cool. I actually, come to think of it, I don't know if this is. Let me find out. Let me see Visions of Mana Square Enix, because sometimes it's like a subsidiary that will develop. Um, no, this is straight up Square Enix, and so yeah, it's not something that. I mean, Kingdom Hearts was real time, but like
Yeah.
a lot of Final Fantasy wasn't. But now modern Final Fantasy is, and so I guess what I'm trying to say is that what I said earlier is completely incorrect. We see Square Enix do real time action all the time, and I shouldn't have been surprised about this.
But the fact is that they do, they have been known to do both. And so like this
Yeah.
is another. Yeah.
It looks cool. This was the surprise announcement. So we still don't know a whole lot about it. It didn't really like stick in my mind too much. I didn't like see it and go, "Oh, this is
Yeah.
super cool. I'm very excited for this." I don't doubt that it'll be good, but it's got to prove itself, and so we'll see more as it gets closer.
Yeah.
Obsidian showed off a new game that takes place in the same universe as Pillars of Eternity, and it's called
Yeah.
Avowed. You've played Pillars of Eternity, right?
I have played an awful lot of Pillars of Eternity.
I
Yeah,
haven't, so I have
it
not
is.
played at all. I don't know anything about this world or this
Yeah, it's
thing.
very rich.
Hmm.
Um, that's really the most important thing I'll say. It's oh man, I don't even know how to. I first was introduced to it by Clay, um, and uh, and he played it, and he just got me kind of into it, and it's just good. I don't know. I'm very interested to see a new. I don't know. I guess IP maybe, but maybe not. I don't know. Just a new game entry into that franchise. It's gonna be interesting.
Yeah,
Probably good.
the key art is gorgeous. It is
Yeah,
so colorful and pretty and incredible. So yeah, I'm very excited to see what comes of that. Um,
absolutely. Me too.
one of the things I'm
I,
super excited. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I was gonna say I wanted to draft that game really badly, but I don't think I got it.
I don't know who got it. Let's see here. Let's
I
control F for Avowed. Nolan also got Avowed.
ah
um, so, uh, we got a new peek at Ninja Theory's next title, Senua's Saga Hellblade 2.
yeah, they're going to
I
Iceland.
never played Hellblade 1, the first Senua's Saga title, but I've had people recommend it to me as a sound
Mhm.
designer to just because of the incredible, just the whispering alone, the crazy. And we got a long look at some of the behind the scenes content of making this game, and I saw that they had. Do you know what a binaural mic is?
Yeah, I do. Yeah,
It's so for anybody that doesn't know what a binaural mic is, like it looks like a head, and then there's like microphones on either side that are ears, and it's
yeah,
meant to just be like it's great for ASMR. It's hyper stereo, and there's like people that they had a clip of the two people just like walking around one of these things in circles, just whispering into it over and it was so cool. Um,
that's so cool. I didn't see that.
and
That's
it
awesome.
looks gorgeous. Like it's I hmm I've never been. It feels like a horror game to me. I don't know if it is a horror
Yeah,
game, but it gives me those vibes. And I used to think I didn't like horror, but over the last few years, I've really started getting into it. I think thanks to Dead by Daylight, and then branching off into other titles thanks to Dead by Daylight, I've started
yeah.
to get more into horror. Um, so I'm definitely excited. This comes out in May 2024. I'm excited to check it out. We'll see how it is. I don't know. Are you gonna check it out at all? Do you think?
Honestly, I might. The, there are it has a lot of things going for it, but um, the fact is that I always kind of wanted to play the first Hellblade. It
Mm-hmm.
looked very interesting to me.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and if I get a chance to pick it up and I would be happy to play the second one.
Yeah.
Seems very good looking.
Um. Lastly,
And if,
oh sorry. Go ahead. Nope.
I was just
Moving on.
gonna say, of course, the big one.
The big one.
Yeah,
Indiana Jones and the Great Circle.
insane.
What a title. I
Yeah,
hate this title so much. I
it's not
imagine
good.
it will change when we get the game and discover what the Great Circle is.
I'm sure.
But just on pure like Indiana Jones and the Crystal Skull, that is
Yeah.
what a Crystal Skull. Ooh,
What's that all about?
the Raiders of the Lost Ark. Oh,
Raiders of the Lost Ark is just a fantastic title.
the Great Circle.
I'm sure it'll be a great circle, all right.
So here's the thing. Um, there's a lot of debate between
Hmm.
first person, third person, yada yada yada. People aren't sure what they think about it. It's hard to say. We don't know much about
Yeah.
this title yet. But one thing I am impressed with extreme is like the attention to detail with care for the Indiana Jones universe. I might have seen each of the Indiana Jones films like one time, but it's not
Mm.
like I couldn't tell you hardly any story beats. Um, isn't there like a bit in Crystal Skull where they're like in a room full of skulls and they need to like, or no, that's a chalice. That's the chalice room. They need to
That's
pick
the
like the
first
right
one.
chalice. Is that Raiders of the
Oh
Lost
no,
Ark?
that's actually the third one. That's the Last Crusade.
Last Crusade. Okay,
Yeah,
that's like one of the only
I've seen
scenes
these
I can
movies a
tell
lot.
you of at all. So okay. So am I right? Like, does it sound like I'm right with that? Like, it seems like they really care for like the universe and Indiana Jones itself.
Yeah. Also, I mean, absolutely. From what I've seen, it does seem like they're giving the IP a lot of care. Um, and also, I mean, we even have like already we know that it's set between Raiders and The Last Crusade. So
Mm-hmm.
it's just somewhere between those two, this adventure takes place. And the fact that they've kind of set it in there, it almost seems like they want it to be, I mean, like a playable cinematic experience, which
Right.
I mean, that's lots of games, of course, but like, I mean, the thing about just Indiana Jones as as an IP in general, just the films, it has this I don't. I think maybe you can only really kind of describe it as Spielberg magic. It has this.
It's time for you.
It's just a pure adventure, and honestly, I love the idea of putting it into a game format. And the last time that I actually the first Indiana Jones game I ever played, and I don't know if there are any other Indiana Jones games, but was Lego Indiana Jones, and I fucking loved that shit.
uh, so I've got the trailer playing right now.
Yeah,
From this is on IGN's website, and I don't know. It kind of blows me away how incredible the Harrison Ford model looks.
it
Um,
looks so good.
and
I'm shocked by it.
we know that Troy Baker is voicing Indy.
Yeah.
And he seems to be doing a good job so far, just based on the trailer. You know, but we'll reserve judgment for the full performance.
Yeah.
You and I both being actors using our theater degree somehow. Um, uh, that I just realized I missed something in the first time. That said, executive producer Todd Howard.
It did.
Uh, is this an Obsidian subsidiary?
Uh, it's Machine Games, and they're the ones who did Wolfenstein, I think.
Okay, so I know that became
I can't remember
Bethesda.
if it's.
Sorry, not Obsidian, Bethesda. I meant to say Bethesda.
Yeah, I
I'm
know
so
what you
sorry.
meant.
ZeniMax Machine Games Bethesda. I don't know anything about. Is Machine Games owned by it? They. I have no idea. A quick Google search does not reveal much for me here.
Perhaps God Howard, our Lord and Savior God Howard, is doing a little solo venture.
They definitely have an agreement because the trailer's on the Bethesda YouTube channel. That's all I can
Yeah,
discover with a quick Google search.
that
So
makes sense.
I think Bethesda's probably a parent company if I had to guess.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, that was all the games that appeared at the Xbox Developer Direct, and I don't know, is there any of those that are jumping out to you more than others that you're particularly excited for, or just kind of
Oh,
gonna wait and
probably
see what
Avowed.
happens? Avowed,
Yeah,
really?
Avowed. Yeah, it really. I'm kind of pumped about it, to be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then, I mean, obviously, of course, the biggest title on there is definitely going to be that indie game, but indie as in Indiana Jones, not indie as in independent.
Yeah.
I realize that there are two meanings of that right now. But yeah,
Oh, it's gonna get indie game of the
I'm
year for sure.
oh for sure, for sure. I'm very interested to see that turns out. Uh, Bad title or not.
Yeah.
Uh, it is again. You're absolutely right. It just doesn't have that epic feel to it, but we'll see.
Yeah, I mean, like,
Um,
yeah, I'm reserving judgment for the full release. You know,
I'm not
blown away
reserving
immediately.
any judgment. I've decided the game is a 10 out of 10.
I've decided to stop having
Maybe.
opinions, actually. So
Well, that's a good idea. I
yeah,
think we should all do
I think well,
that.
it's going to be very helpful to talk about this next topic. You know,
Yeah. Yeah. If we
just
don't have
just
an opinion.
just not having opinions, I think, is the correct way to work on the internet these days.
No,
So
yeah.
so the other big story that's still currently developing, there was a game that had a lot of shock value in its initial trailer. This is Pal World. Pal World, from the developers Pocket Pair Incorporated.
Yeah.
When the first trailer dropped, people were just like, "Pokemon with guns, cool," and then like
Yeah.
and then it, like a lot of people were excited for it. Some people weren't, and then like over time, slowly we started to get more information. It started to seem like a more interesting title, and then it launched on Friday to 1 million players within 8 hours, and currently holds the 6th highest concurrent player count of all time on Steam. Of all time, it has had the most players. I don't know how to word this sentence, but it's at number 6 on that,
I get you.
which is baffling to me. For
Yeah.
it's a $27 game on Steam.
Yeah.
And so to hit number 6 for a paid game, actually Cyberpunk is one above it. But a lot of the other games on there are like free to play games. And
Yeah.
baffling. But
Really is.
so that all happened. That all happened within the first few hours. Quickly started coming out. Maybe some people knew about this beforehand, but it definitely was not the common like knowledge beforehand.
Yeah.
Very quickly started to be revealed that the CEO of Pocket Pair Incorporated had some previous statements talking a lot about generative AI and wanting to use it in their company's projects. There's been a lot of people talking about the similarities to Pokemon, because there's quite a few of the pals in Pal World that like share a lot of traits with Pokemon.
Yeah.
And so the current speculation, and might I emphasize speculation, is that likely what happened was that there was some models that were trained on Pokemon, and then they like created like just concepts through generative AI, and then built them out themselves into 3D models, naming them, giving them PAL deck entries. I think that's their Pokedex, is the PAL deck.
Sure.
I popped on this game on Friday as soon as it came out. I was pretty excited for it before I heard any of this stuff. And this is not me commenting on whether I think it's okay for the game to be played or not. What I want to say is, before I knew all of this, this was the most fun I have had with a survival game in so long. And
That's
getting to have a fresh Pokemon-like experience in an open world with like a lot of options and things to do, it was incredible.
Yeah.
I was devastated to start finding out about some of this stuff. And at first, I personally, I'm a voice actor. I'm against generative AI generally. But
If that's not clear.
yeah. But I do also recognize, as a techie, cat's out of the bag. It's kind of here to stay. It's already being put into workflows, whether we like it or not. And so the key now is to do it ethically.
Mm-hmm.
We don't know if they did it ethically, and we know nothing about it. And I was extremely disappointed to start finding out that, based on his comments, the CEO's comments, that there was a high possibility that this is not ethical. And I'm completely losing my train of thought. But it was like, I tend to not just jump the gun to, oh, if somebody's using AI, they're a bad person. I don't tend to make that jump immediately.
Sure.
But it's at this point, there's been so much coming out, it's kind of getting hard to refute, and I'm extremely disappointed. But one benefit is we can pray that Game Freak / Pokemon Company sees how incredible this game was received at first.
Yeah.
And does something with it. That is my
Absolutely.
end goal hope. I would love
Yeah.
a fresh Pokemon experience. I don't know. What have you been seeing about this? What do you have any takes on this?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, I've been hearing everything from borrowed assets, plagiarism, everything. You know, and obviously, if those are the things that have occurred in this particular game, it should be there should be ramifications.
Yeah.
It is a damn shame that it's so much fun. You know, it has a 9 out of 10 on Steam. I haven't played it personally, but I trust you that if you're having a fun experience, you know,
Yeah.
then that's just a fact of the matter.
You like Minecraft, right? Like you like survival
Yeah, I love
games.
Minecraft.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
a great survival game. It's one of the best. Like you could tell the people who made it care about survival games because it's got
Yeah.
such a nice user experience. Yeah, it was
Absolutely.
incredible.
Yeah, and so I mean, of course, if this ends up being something that you know, I mean, I could see, you know, Pokemon Company taking legal action. I could see that happening. You know, it could end up being a defining situation
Mm-hmm.
for gaming and AI usage.
Yes, this will be a landmark case if it goes to a trial. And
Exactly.
basically, here's the thing: Nintendo has not made a comment. We don't know anything about it. We don't know if they have legal ground to stand on because parity
Yeah.
law is so broad.
Yeah.
But the other thing is that even if they don't really have legal ground to stand on, they can start a trial and like just extend it out. Like just they can afford a lot of time that the Power World developers probably cannot.
Yeah.
Even if they don't really have a case.
Yeah.
But if it goes to a trial and that trial discusses AI, that is going to be a landmark case in generative AI, and that's going to
Absolutely.
influence, you know, the new generation of the internet. When we had NFTs and crypto roaming the world like crazy, that was where people what was it, Web 3 that people were, or was it Web 4? I think it was Web 3 was what they called it.
I think you're right. Yeah.
I think AI is going to be the real Web 3. You know, that's really the new generation of where everything's going, and like,
Yeah.
there's nothing to be done about it now. As much as I wish I could say that we're at a point where we can just like make it illegal, that's not going to
Yeah.
happen. But we're hopefully going to get it in a way that's ethical and then like supports creators. But God, I'm so tired. It's I'm tired. Like I'm tired physically, like myself right now. I was up very late last night, but I'm just tired of AI and talking about it. And like it sucks that we're so fresh into the life of AI because we're gonna have to talk about it a lot. Just like layoffs, you know, layoffs and AI, the two shittiest topics in gaming right now. You know, what fun.
Absolutely. There is, and I encourage you and also our audience to take a look at it. There's a fantastic YouTube essay by Abigail Thorne on ethical AI. I think that's actually the name of the video is Ethical AI. I think it's Philosophy Tube. That's
okay.
That's her YouTube channel. I was trying to remember her actual title, but yeah. Highly recommend that video because it kind of delves into the idea of like, is ethical AI possible?
Right.
And the conclusion that spoilers for the video, but the conclusion that they kind of arrive at is like, I mean, yes, but maybe not, but also yes, but maybe not.
So yeah, that's a very deep conversation to be had, and
Yeah.
I'm sure that she goes into it well, because basically here's the thing: you can develop a training model on your own stuff and make AI doing that, and that is more ethical, but
Yeah.
it's still kind of got to be trained on like how to do it in the first place, which won't really
Yeah.
be trained on your stuff.
Exactly.
And so it's gonna be uh it's it there, and there's layers of technology that just very few people understand. These
Yeah.
neural networks are just so complex,
Yeah.
and like, I'm a geek. I love studying technology and like programming and stuff. It's weird because like I want to be an actor, but I'm also developing games and stuff. I don't understand it at all. And
Yeah.
so, all I could do
I
is talk
think
about the creative and ethical side of it.
it reminds me of the classic, and this is me getting like even more philosophical, but it reminds me of the classic like discussion about machines taking our jobs.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like when early, well, I mean it's happened in every single uh, kind of technical revolution. But you know, we as a society work on things to make our lives easier, so that we don't have to work as hard. And then we introduce it to the world, and the world responds. The layman responds with, "Hey, you've taken this away from me, um, and I'm upset about it." And they have a right to be. They have kind of been replaced by something. But the reason why that's bad isn't because um, they're they've been replaced necessarily. It's not the reason isn't that they can't. Uh, I suppose uh, like the reason it's bad is because now they're out of work, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
now they're not being fairly compensated.
Yeah.
Like and that's why by the way, socialist here, that's why like stuff like universal basic income, or just like universal healthcare, universal everything. Why, I mean, if we're going to make these technological revolutions to make lives better for everybody, then we need to be taking care of the people who are most affected by this.
Right.
And obviously, of
Right.
course, these things regulate, and then people, there are always going to be other different jobs or whatever. But that's something that I think about a lot about AI.
Mm-hmm.
Is like how's that going to work? And I think in the artistry field. Sorry, I just keep talking. But in the world of artistry, like I think AI is never going to be able to do what um, an artist can do. Um, Never, ever, ever.
Right.
It's going to get close, right? But I think that is a region where the labor that artists do cannot be replaced by a machine.
Yeah.
Um, it's just that's that human element that just can't be replaced. And so I think everything that I just discussed doesn't apply to that realm. So,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
if it's like, I mean, like my job that I do, by the way, on my day job, I'm a customer service representative. Um, I think 95% of my job, a machine could do.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. Schedule people, do paperwork, stuff like that. Um, Absolutely, an AI could do that. Um, but, uh, you know, voiceover work, um, portrait making, um, you know, uh, digital art, all of that um, is not something that like I feel like an AI I can really truly
Yeah,
encapsulate.
and to be clear, I don't think it will. I
Yeah,
think there's always going to be a benefit to like having people over that, and like you're going to be able to feel it, because
yeah,
like AI art can do shock value well, it can do spectacle well, but it can't do emotion well. I've not been moved by a piece of AI art. I've looked at AI art and been like, wow, that's like epic, or that's really cool or something, but I've not really felt a deep connection to any AI art, and I will
exactly.
be amazed if that happens.
Yeah.
Anyway, I want to move on to something that's not as beautiful. It's not,
Huh?
or sorry, that's also not sad. But hold on, I'm picking my words very stupidly right now.
Show me the ugly thing, Sterling. Let's talk about the ugly thing.
Sad. It's also sad, but it's sad in like a rebirth kind of like cool way, and not Final
Yeah.
Fantasy rebirth. Like we're getting okay. I'm just gonna talk about it. So we've got Rock Band 4 DLC is ending this month, and this is an article from
Yeah.
Brian Shea at Game Informer. I didn't know Rock Band 4 DLC was still happening.
Me neither.
So when did this final DLC is scheduled to release on January 25th, and it will end a 8-year run of weekly DLC for Rock Band 4. And the reason
Holy
they're doing
cow.
this is because they were bought out by Epic Games, and they've been developing Fortnite Festival, which I've been having a blast with, and they want to
Yeah.
focus on Fortnite Festival. And so they're going to be ending with Elton John's Goodbye Yellow Brick Road, and the Trogs' Our Love will still be there. And my,
Oh my
goodness,
God.
what a run. You know, like
Yeah.
8 years of weekly DLC. I did not know this was a thing that they were doing.
Yeah, me neither. Holy cow.
And I'm like, I want to know,
Good
like,
for
did
them.
did they miss a week ever? Like, surely they missed a week at some point. That's a lot of music.
So much. Also, Goodbye Yellow Brick Road. That's so good.
Oh yeah, it's very intentional.
Oh yeah.
So 52 weeks in a year for 8 years. 416 weeks. That's at least 416 songs. And like this week
Yeah.
they're doing 2. Did they always do 2? I don't know. I don't
Yeah.
know anything about Rock Band 4. I didn't know. I thought I probably knew in the recesses of my mind that there was a Rock Band 4, but in my mind I got the original Rock Band. I got Lego Rock Band. I remember there being a Rock Band 2 or maybe a 3. No idea there was a 4.
I had no idea there was a Rock
if somebody
Band 4.
if somebody had come up to me and been like, "Hey, how many Rock Band games have there been?" I would have said, "I can't calculate that because there's been a lot of skins for Rock Band. There's been like the Beatles Rock Band, Lego Rock Band.
Yeah.
There's been all this." If somebody said to me, "How many mainline Rock Band games are there?" I would have said, "Maybe 3."
Maybe 3.
Yeah. So absolutely blown away by that being a thing. But hey, it's cool
Yeah.
because the focus is now on Fortnite Festival. And I'm
Which you
having a
love.
blast with it. I love it so much. I was for a while, for a good chunk of time, top 500 in the world on Dirty Little Secret on guitar. I am now top 1,000. It became a featured song, which meant everybody had access to it, and now I'm in like the 700s or 800s, and I just cannot beat my high score again. I have plateaued, and I'm so sad
You know,
about it.
Sometimes, some people they peak in high school. You peaked about,
peaked- I
two
peaked at-
2 weeks ago or so in
Yeah.
Fortnite.
I peaked right before I turned 27 playing Fortnite and living at my parents' house.
I get
Oh.
that. I get that. Oh
we
man.
like to have fun here.
We like to have fun here. We'll cry about it later. This is completely unrelated to absolutely anything that we are talking about. But speaking of your 27th birthday, it is my younger cousin Sam, his 21st birthday today, and I just wanted to give him a shout out because I love him. And last night we took him out for drinks and got a little messy, but not too messy. And so happy birthday to Sam. I love you. You probably will not see this for some time, but when you do see it, you'll know I talked about you because I love you. But yeah,
Yeah, last night, man, I was up late last night too because there's a sushi place that just opened in Kansas City last month called Kira Sushi. It's a rotating sushi bar. I have been wanting to go to this place. So there's one in Schaumburg, Illinois, outside of Chicago, and I went there in my last couple of months before leaving Chicago. incredible. And so as soon as I knew that Kansas City was opening one, I've been like, I need to get there. I need to go. So we go. We make the plans. We say, hey, all right, Saturday the 20th, we're going to go. We get to Topeka to meet up with some friends at around 4 o'clock. We hang out for a little bit, say, okay, we're going to try and get there around 6 o'clock. Probably going to be a bit of a wait, and we'll hang out. And then afterwards, we'll like hit up a game store, go shopping, do whatever, and then come back, play some Magic, go to bed, watch a movie maybe. We get to the sushi place at 6 o'clock, and we walk in the door, and there's an iPad that displays, like, you check in on this iPad, and it displays the wait time. 125 to 175 minutes.
Oh, no.
And we're like... I was, first off, I was disappointed with myself. So this is before I had heard any of the Pal World stuff. I had been spending my morning playing Pal World, and I'm sitting there thinking... while at home, I'm like, I should probably... I didn't have to wait when I went in Chicago, but I'm like, maybe I should check and see if there's like any sort of reservation or online check-in or something. And I'm like, no, it'll be fine. I didn't do that. I want to keep playing Pal World. But we're like, we came for this. This is why we're here. So we're not just going to go somewhere else. I mean, we can go somewhere else because they're like, we're still having fun being together and like going to a couple stores. And then we're gonna go play some games and stuff. But like, this is why we came to Kansas City. So we put our name on the list and went and did our shopping. And I have like a screen on my phone that shows like it has like your window of time. And by the way, I did learn that you can check in on the mobile app, so we're gonna do that in the future. But 60 plus minutes. It is where it caps out. It just sits there and says 60 plus minutes. It does not show you anything more than that, or like a queue number or anything. Eventually, it got to be 2.5 hours, and we went, all right, let's just go back and wait, because like we had crossed the point of it being the minimum time that showed on the iPad when we walked in. So we go in and sit. As soon as we sit down, it changes to, or as we're driving back to the place, it changes to this window of time that says 45 minutes to 60 minutes. We get there eventually, pretty quickly goes 30 to 45 minutes. This place closes at 9:30. We signed up at 6 o'clock, and we got seated at 9 o'clock. Let me tell you, worth it. It was so good. It was so good.
Oh, awesome.
I missed it so bad, and I love sushi. I love sushi. And getting to like sit there and just have the plates come past and just getting like, all right, I'm grabbing a piece. Oh, this plate looks good. I've never tried this before. I tried octopus for the first time.
Did you like it?
It was all right. It's not going to be my go-to. I didn't hate it. The texture was weird. It was very flavorful. It was very chewy.
Yeah.
So it was the hardest to eat. It was the hardest to eat piece of sushi I got all night because like the rice was just gone, and then I had to sit there and like chew on the octopus for ages. It was okay. It's not going to be my go-to.
That's okay. But now,
yeah,
you got so many. That's so great. I'm happy.
And now I know.
Time.
Yeah, and so then we got back. It was like 11 p.m. We're like, okay, well, we got to play one game of Magic. So we played a game of Magic.
Oh, of course.
That ended at 1 a.m.
Amazing.
And I am so tired now. I got back literally like an hour and a half before we started this episode, and I still had not done most of the tech work yet. So
yeah,
we're doing great over here, y'all. So hey, that's the news. That's the catch up. That's what's happening with Up Download. Again, we're so excited to be back. Jacob, do you have anything you want to say?
No, just reiterate that. Yeah, very excited to be back. Very excited to be doing this, and love you guys.
Yeah, so definitely go to upupdownload.com to check out our Twitter, our Instagram, our website, and find everything that find every way to keep up to date with what's happening with Up Download, because we're going to be doing some really fun events soon, and I'm really excited to share them all with you.
Very stoked.
So I don't know who next week's hosts are, otherwise I'd tell you that right now. But until next time.